We're live. Right.
Says we are.
Yes, says we are. Welcome, everyone. Welcome to the live hangout.
We're live.
Oh, is that me? Have I just done that?
Welcome, everyone.
Yeah, I've got headphones in.
Oh, how many times? Yeah.
I'm
What
sure.
I was about to say is we're very pleased to say we're here with Josh. How are you, mate?
I'm great, thanks. Yourselves?
Yeah, I'm good.
Yeah.
For those of you who don't know who Josh is, well, we happily met up with you recently in Wales. So you
Yep.
may have seen Josh appear in one of those vlogs, and at the meetup as well at Bristol.
Yeah, Bristol meetup. I sort of appear here, there, and everywhere. You never know where I'm going to turn up next.
Absolutely. And we thought we'd invite Josh on because for a long time you've been trying to find a supplier of eco-friendly poly mailers.
Yeah. Packaging.
And then Josh, what do you want to explain what it was you decided to try and do and the reasonings behind it? We'll hand it over to you.
Okay. Well, there isn't really a huge story. It's just that as people know, there's a growing demand for more eco-friendly products in the world, and everyone's being a little bit more cautious about their impact on the environment. So I was looking for some more eco-friendly packaging supplies myself on eBay. You're very limited on choice on eBay. You might notice if you've looked yourself, it's just biodegradable stuff. So I thought there's got to be a better option than that. Did some research and found there was some carbon neutral stuff available and lots of other options. So I just decided to go with it really and start my own little business.
Fantastic. And I'll say from the get-go, and we'll remind people as we go, we have put a link below to Josh's packaging store, the section within your eBay shop. So you can go over there and browse. That should take you to all of the products that are currently available. So yeah, do you want to give us an overview of the sort of stuff that you're selling and what are the advantages of it over maybe your traditional stuff that you might buy?
Okay, so do you want me to just break down the poly mailers, or do you want me to break down the sizes? How would you like me to do this?
However you think is appropriate.
The kind of poly mailers, the kind of
So the types and the what they actually are and how different they are.
I suppose that's
Okay.
more interesting, isn't it?
So I'll just use this as an example. This is just a 25 by, forget the size of these, 25 by 35. So this is the standard clothing size poly mailer. I sell a few different sizes of these, and they're made of recycled plastic, and they're also able to be recycled again to be turned into clothing. So I believe a lot of them are biodegradable. This isn't biodegradable, and it can just be recycled in your standard recycling box outside. So that's the difference with them, is they're recyclable. I believe it uses a 40% recycled material content. And then if I go inside, bear with me a second. It's be a very rustly live stream. I also sell 100% carbon neutral sugarcane poly mailers.
Yeah.
They all have the logos on the bottom. They are sustainably sourced, carbon neutral, and they're fully recyclable, and they're made from sugarcane. So that's the benefits of them, to be specific.
Those are my favourites of everything that you sell. That's my favourite.
Yeah, we've got those here. So carbon neutral then. So that's in the production of these.
So the growing process of the sugarcane makes up for any CO2 produced during the manufacturing and transport process.
Okay. Right. And these, as you were saying, fully recyclable as well.
Made from sugarcane.
Yeah, and you wouldn't tell. That feels so much like regular plastic.
So they say it contains the exact same chemical compounds as your standard polyethylene plastic mailer, but it's just made from sugarcane. So it's like a green plastic is what they describe it as.
Right. Yeah. So how many sizes of that style are you doing?
So yesterday I expanded to 3 sizes, and that is the 25 by 35, which is the standard clothing size, the 30 by 40, and the 40 by 50. So I do 3 larger sizes of those. Okay.
And are they available already through that link?
Yes, they're live already.
Before we carry on, I just want to say, if you are watching us live, I forgot to mention we are live. And if you're in the side chat, hello. If you have any specific questions for Josh about what he supplies or any details about it, now's the time to put them in. I'll try and keep an eye on that, but it's not easy. And there is the link below also to Josh's YouTube channel, so you could contact Josh through there, I'm sure. But yeah, if you do have any questions as we go, try and pop them in the side chat, and we'll try and get onto those. Oh, I can see Lex is in, Peter Ray's in, Tommy's in. Welcome everyone.
Lex is having T-shirts made that say, "What would Josh do?"
What would I do is the answer.
We need ones that say, "What would Lex buy?"
What would Lex buy? I look at jewelry all the time now, and I just think, what would Lex buy? I know there's something in here Lex would buy, and I never know what it is. So, yeah. So, okay, there's a question for Josh. Do you also have jiffy bag type things?
Not at the moment, but I am investigating.
Okay, so one for the future, hopefully.
Yeah.
G wants to know, can you eat them?
No. The simple answer is no. Wouldn't recommend it unless you like plastic.
So Steve's still looking for eatable mailers, yeah, or edible mailers. Let me scroll back quick, see if there's any questions we missed before we carry on. I can't see any. Okay, if I've missed any questions, pop them back in. Oh, Lex doesn't even know what she buys or why she buys it. Okay, so sorry I interrupted. You were in full flow. What were we talking about? I can't remember where we were up to. So we were talking about poly mailers, weren't we? So is that the range you've got then, the two sorts?
So yeah, just the recycled poly mailers and then the sugarcane mailers are the two that I sell. I'm also doing clear clothing bags as well, but they're not made of recycled material, but they are fully recyclable.
Okay.
Yeah.
Can I just ask, we have been looking for a while for alternatives that have less of a environmental impact, and we found some of them are expensive. Now, how do you compare price-wise to what people might be spending on poly mailers now?
That's a good question.
Is it competitive price-wise?
So obviously they're a lot more expensive to produce, so the cost is a lot more expensive for me to buy them. I can give you an example. The 25 by 35 mailers, for 100 of them, it's £7.50 for the standard poly ethene. Off the eco mailers, it's £14. So you're looking at probably a double the cost for something more eco-friendly.
Right. Okay. I would hope though, the more this sort of thing takes off and they're producing in larger quantities, that will only ever come down, hopefully.
Yeah, you've got to hope so.
There's
really.
economies of scale the more they produce of this stuff.
I still think that the mailers you've got, the sugarcane ones, I think that, you know, compared to some of the companies I've already looked at, they're very reasonable.
Yeah.
Okay.
I was looking at the other day some water-resistant 2-ply paper mailers in the same 25 by 35 size, but they're about 50 pence per mailer. And these sugarcane ones are about 12p a mailer. So the difference between some eco-friendly stuff is ridiculous.
Yeah.
So I've gone for what I believe is good for the environment and also quite cost-effective and quite good value for money, is what I see them as.
And I was talking to Nick actually last night about the fact that with the clear poly mailers, because they're recyclable, it's a really good alternative for clothing resellers who, you know, for me, I'm finding it really difficult to move away from the clear poly bags that I just store my clothes in, because it's so convenient. It keeps them clean. I can reach into a box and rummage and pull one out without everything getting in a mess. I get lots of, you know, really good feedback from people that things are well packaged, and you know, I found it really difficult to find an alternative. So the fact that we have an alternative here that is fully recyclable, I think that's a really good thing for, especially.
And because of the type of material they're made from, you notice it's a lot softer, so it's not going to get damaged in storage or go very crinkly or quite tatty looking. They stay quite fresh and nice looking. I've definitely been looking at an alternative for them, the clear bags themselves. They do compostable clear bags, but sadly, I haven't found anything the size I need, so the 25 by 30. It's probably something I'm going to have to go direct to a manufacturer to ask about. Maybe there's a reason why they don't make them that big. I'm not too sure, but it's definitely something I am investigating at the moment. So hopefully I'm going to have some compostable clear mailing bags as well.
That would be great. That would be amazing.
Few things coming in. Lex says, what about paper-based mailers? Is that something you've looked at, or is it available, do you think?
So I was just mentioning the 2-ply water-resistant mailers.
Right.
Definitely looked into it, but they're just far too expensive at the moment.
Oh,
It's about
they would-
50p compared to 12p.
Okay, I missed that. George was saying, hi everyone, great subject tonight. I actually mentioned in my newest video about starting to use less packaging, including biodegradable bags. I think it's on a lot of people's minds, and I think, yeah, it's a great time to get into this and trying to.
So, Josh,
Something I would
about biodegradable and
yeah, so I was just going to talk about that same topic, Andrea.
Not necessarily the best option.
Yeah, so a lot of people, a lot of scientists, and the company that I buy from believe biodegradable plastic is going to be banned by the EU very soon, within the next few years. They believe it's getting into our food supplies, our water sources, and it's damaging the environment a lot more than just standard plastic that doesn't biodegrade, because it gets smaller and smaller and smaller. So they believe it's going to be banned. Now, if that is the case, I have already got alternatives, so I don't need to worry about that. But it's definitely something to consider. You know, if it's going to be banned, is it worth maybe buying some, or is it worth avoiding them and going for something else?
That's really interesting, because the word biodegradable you still associate with doing something positive. You know what I mean? I think people still sell products on the fact that, hey, look, I'm biodegradable. And now you're saying that they're maybe going to ban it because it's harmful for the environment. It's just nuts. I think we're being sold on the wrong things sometimes.
So I've noticed a lot of companies use biodegradable as a marketing tool to sell more to the eco-focused people. Biodegradable literally just means plastic with added chemicals to make it break down faster. That's all it is. It's nothing special. It's just plastic with chemicals added.
Yeah, and we've seen that with you know, we've talked about this before, that we stored a load of stuff in like some Tesco's bags back when they were doing biodegradable bags, and then we went into our storage and it was just bits of tiny plastic all over the floor, and all our stuff was just
lifted the handles up and the bag just disintegrated, and you're left with the handles. Like, okay,
it's also worth mentioning that if it goes to landfill, it probably won't break down anyway or biodegrade, because it needs sunlight and oxygen. If it ends up in the bottom of a landfill covered in more landfill, it's not going to get sunlight or oxygen to start breaking down anyway. So you're kind of defeating the whole point of the biodegradable to start with.
Yeah.
Right. Oh, I keep forgetting I can highlight these comments. Let me do that. Hi, Ads. He says, I think £14 for 100 of the sugarcane mailers is reasonable considering they are carbon neutral. Fantastic. Links are below, Ads, if you want to get hold of some.
I could recommend them. I've been using them.
Yeah.
It's also a great unique selling point for your company as well. Being able to promote that you use carbon neutral packaging is also a great thing to do.
Yeah.
Right, let's see if we've got any more questions before we move on. Lex has ordered clear bags and cardboard boxes from Josh, and are all great quality. Well, should we talk about the boxes? Because as I said to you, I need to get hold of some. I usually source my boxes from my Hermes drop-off place, who know me, the local post office, who know me. Poundland is great for boxes, but what I struggle with is small ones. You know what I mean? I can get like crisp size and wine boxes and that. I could fill the house with those easily. So, what size boxes do you supply currently?
6 by 6 by 6 and 9 by 9 by 9.
Okay. And what price do you do those at?
So the 6 by 6 by 6, for 30 of them, it's £9.25, which is 30p a box. This is all free postage, by the way. And then the 9 by 9 by 9s, for 25, it's £16.50, which is 66p a box. The good thing about the boxes, though, is they are FSC approved, and they contain between 60% and 90% recycled material, and they're also vegan friendly.
Oh, so you can eat them.
So I'm not sure if some boxes generally contain some sort of animal product in them, but these are marketed as vegan friendly.
Yeah, that confuses me, because I'd never have thought a cardboard box could not be vegan friendly.
Exactly. It doesn't say exactly what part is vegan friendly, but I assume it's maybe like a binding agent or something.
Yeah, wow.
But they're made with 60 to 90% recycled material, and it's sustainably sourced as well, which is why they're FSC approved.
Well,
they're a little bit more upmarket than your standard sort of cheaper boxes.
Yeah. Well, I think I'm going to order both sizes then, because these are what I struggle for. I mean, currently, as I said before, this one is has got a lot of.
It's already being used. Good promotion, Nick.
So yeah, that's all ready to go once I actually bother to list it. It's not even listed. It's in its box and not listed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Lex also Lex is asking about eco-friendly packing chips.
Where's that?
Packing chips.
Yeah,
That's one I haven't looked at. To be honest, if you bear with me, I can actually look now.
Like little peanuts, you know, packing peanuts.
Because like Lush do everything that comes in a Lush box, you get the potato chips.
Yeah, like starchy peanut things. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm sure people would be interested in getting hold of those because they are fully compostable, aren't they?
Yeah.
Yeah. Let's see what else we've got in the chat.
I don't believe they do. The little eco-friendly peanut chips. I know they make some that are water soluble, so that's something I could probably look at from a different supplier. But I will look into it for you, Lex.
So currently, are you ordering everything from? Is it Kite?
Yeah. So I was looking through suppliers, and Kite has got a mission to reduce their own plastic footprint and carbon footprint. So it matched my own goals as a company. So I wanted to support them, really.
Yeah.
Fantastic.
And then Thailand Heron says, is there any eco-friendly sticky tape, like I suppose the paper tape?
Not that I can source at the moment. They sell something called Eco Tape, but all that is if I have some here, I do. So basically, they class Eco Tape as just more sellotape in the roll, so the inner cardboard is smaller. That's what they class as Eco Tape. They don't actually sell an alternative to the plastic as of yet, I don't believe.
That's a bit of a stretch calling that Eco Tape.
I know some companies do like paper tape, and I've looked at that, but that's really expensive.
More like masking tape is, you mean? That's kind of made of paper.
Yeah, kind of. A bit like that.
Andrew is in as well. Hi, Andrew. He was asking, is there an alternative to bubble wrap? Do you have plans to offer that?
Alternative bubble wrap. There is cardboard bubble wrap, which I have been looking at, and a few people have asked about it. It's definitely something I will probably get into eventually, yes. But alternatives for the actual, plastic filled with bubbles, probably not at the moment. I believe the paper stuff is sort of imprinted with machine to sort of create a bit of a void gap.
David Williams, we were talking before about biodegradable plastic. He asks, isn't a biodegradable plastic the same plastic that breaks down into microscopic plastic balls?
Yes, but it doesn't go into balls. It just goes too small for the eye to see, basically. It goes microscopic. The hope is that it gets small enough that a microorganism will eat it, but I don't know any microorganisms that eat plastic as their diet, so I don't think that's too hopeful.
Okay.
Yeah, well, it just ends up in the air, ends up everywhere around us. And
yes, you can, Steve. Order them now. Eric's saying, on that actually, Eric's saying the glue that holds the cardboard together. Maybe that's the animal product that's in it.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah.
I've never thought about that though before. That's completely went over my head.
Yeah. And Mary Deathly Deals is in, says interesting discussion, never thought about it. Yeah, and a lot more people are, as Josh said in the beginning, more people are becoming conscious of their impact, as we have been certainly over the last few years, and discussing ways we can change things.
Yeah.
So I think it's great timing, and I think there's an appetite for this. So we're more than happy to help promote this stuff. If you've just joined us, the link to the products that we're talking about to Josh's store is below. So please go over. You can have a browse and the details and the prices over there. But if you do have any specific questions, please pop them in. Now, are there any of the products we haven't talked about yet, Josh?
I think we've spoken about everything really, apart from the trial mail bundle, which is on the eBay store, which allows you to buy one of every single poly mailer I sell. So you get the free eco mailers, the 4 poly mailers, and the 2 clear mailers all together in one little bundle for £2.25. It's just a good way to basically check the quality of them, see what they're like, see if you like them, and maybe you want to place another order.
Okay, fantastic. So that's available now. So if you want to just, as Josh said, just try them out as we've been doing, because you kindly sent us a little sample of the stuff, and then you can place a larger order with the stuff that works for whatever you're selling.
Yep.
Okay, let me scroll down a bit further, see if there's any more questions. Eric was saying there, I tried to stick to newspaper instead of bubble wrap, as it can just be recycled again. Yeah, I do a lot of that. And I got a massive job lot from Facebook. Somebody had moved house and I had a stack of this packing paper, which was, I'm 6 foot tall and it was nearly as tall as me. I couldn't barely get it in the mini. And I've almost used it all in about a month. That's how much I get through.
Yeah, that's a really good way of doing things, isn't it? Because I think you reached out on Facebook and then somebody actually set up a group just on the basis of that was a great idea to get rid of
I use it a lot
and things that they don't want anymore, so they don't throw them away.
Absolutely. The best way to do this is to reuse, but beyond that, because I can't keep up with the amount of packaging I need, so we do need to buy some. But reusing stuff and using local Facebook groups to pick up used envelopes. I do that fairly regularly. And this sort of void fill, people are throwing it away on a daily basis, so if we can intervene and get hold of it, that's the ideal way. All right, let's see what else we've got on here.
Lex is keen to know, what else are you looking to invest in Josh in life?
Oh, what a big question, Lex. She's hoping I say a house for her when we get married, but yeah. I do all sorts of investments, really, stocks and shares, property, everything. I dabble in everything and anything, really.
Yeah,
keeps life interesting to do different things.
Sometimes it's hard to believe you're only like 3 years older than our daughter.
Yes, I'm 20.
Yeah.
Rory, hi Rory, says, I've decided to use cardboard triangular tubing from Kite rather than traditional poster tubes with the plastic lids. I'm glad more people are trying to be more eco-friendly. Fantastic, thanks for the message. What's this one? A friend of mine has a cardboard shredder and feeds it into a fancy machine that shreds and concertinas it into void fill. Oh, I've seen those. Yeah, they're great. They kind of like break it up so it becomes, almost like, what's the word? I don't know what the word is. Once you have the machine, generally the cardboard supply is free. Yeah, I'd love to have one of those.
Kite sell them if people were interested in the machine, but they're about $5,000 each.
Yeah.
So it's a lot of
together.
Yeah, we could get a reseller when we share and send around.
Yeah. Hi Neville, good to see you in. Okay. So if you're just joining us, what's Steve talking about? Nick is 6 foot, I'm defo 5'9". I don't know. If you're just joining us, we've been chatting about Josh's packaging business. Link to the store is below if you want to go and have a look. But let's talk a little bit about you. I mean, you just said that you are, compared to us anyway, incredibly young. So when did you start your own business? When did you decide you were going to take that as a career path, or did it just happen? How did you get into it all?
Oh, should I go back to the start but fast track it a little bit?
Yeah.
So in sixth form, I had my heart set on being a chef. I did a hospitality diploma and passed all that. When I left sixth form, I was already working in quite a fancy restaurant. It's quite well known in Bristol. It's one of the top ones as a waiter. I was very lucky to be offered an apprenticeship in the kitchen, which was just incredible. I started the apprenticeship in the kitchen and I just wasn't enjoying it as much as I thought I would. So I quit the apprenticeship after about 6 months and carried on cooking for another 6 months. And then I got really kind of fed up one day of cooking for people and just not being appreciated as much as I wanted to be and have the freedom, really. As a chef, you're working 50, 60 hours a week. And, at my age, 19 at the time, definitely wasn't something I wanted to do with my life at such a young age. So I stopped being a chef. I went out front as restaurant manager. So I worked my way up the chain to restaurant manager. I did that for a year. And then my relation with the boss kind of started to deteriorate and didn't really get very, very good. It wasn't enjoyable to work there anymore. And I just got really fed up. So one day I just turned around and quit. I just handed my notice in and left. I went full-time self-employed for 6 months after that. Bearing in mind, I'd already been self-employed for about a year before, just as a hobby, selling Lego figures, because if you know me, I love my Lego. So I did that. I went to go full-time self-employed for 6 months, and then my parents own a cafe and my mum needed someone to work, so she offered me a job there for 8 months or so. That closed down recently, so then I went back full-time self-employed last month. But I've always wanted to be self-employed. I don't like working for someone else.
Mm-hmm.
You're not always appreciated in a job, especially if you work hard. Obviously, at such a young age, I kind of locked myself away in a job 50, 60 hours a week. I didn't really go out and see friends as much as I wanted to. I lost a lot of friends, to be honest. And I decided in the end I didn't want to be a chef. So I kind of had to think of a new career path. And I enjoyed watching other resellers online, and I'd dabbled in selling Lego and stuff before and had my own self-employment set up. I thought, I'm going to go for it. I'm going to try it for a year, which is what I'm doing now. And if it doesn't work, I'll admit to myself it hasn't worked. I'll look at doing maybe another job or something. But I'm hoping to make this work and just enjoy life a little bit more, basically.
Yeah. Well, you're doing pretty good at it so far.
Excuse me. Yeah.
Dying, dear.
Might have to go and get some more water.
So yeah, if I wasn't a full-time employed, I'd be a chef again, basically. I'll still be stuck in a kitchen cooking.
Sorry. It gets so warm in here, and then I start coughing and I can't stop.
Yeah, it's gone very humid today.
Yeah. Okay. Fantastic. And we've already mentioned, but you started the YouTube channel as well. So how's that going? Do you enjoy that?
Sometimes I see it as a fun thing to do, and then other times I kind of think I'm working too hard. You know, for me, YouTube is something I do to keep myself motivated. For example, when I go live, I tend to do a lot more work than when I'm not live. So it's kind of a thing that I do to socialize. Reselling, as you probably know, is quite an unsocial job. We don't really have the place of work to chat to colleagues and stuff. So yeah, I just do it to socialize really and meet new people. I've met loads of great people like yourselves and Carla and Lex and everyone at the Bristol meetup.
Exactly. I mean, that's the side of this that we could have never predicted when we started, and that there wasn't really this community around eBay selling. It just didn't exist, or not to my knowledge. And that's been the motivation to keep doing YouTube for us, is the people that we meet.
Yeah, absolutely.
So I wanted to ask, going back to the packaging supplies, do you see something that this hopefully will build up, or is it just something you wanted to provide for other resellers and it's not really about building a business around it? Or have you thought long term with it at all? So
I only really got into it in the first place because I noticed other people were asking about it as well. So I know both of you were mentioning it, how you're trying to source alternative products. There was a few other YouTubers that were mentioning it. I was looking into it, and I looked on eBay and there was nothing available of, the carbon neutral type or recycled polymailers. Obviously there's a business motive there as well to make some money, but it was generally, I could provide people what they wanted at a reasonably cheap price. And yeah, I'm definitely looking into expanding it more. If the demand is there, I'm going to keep doing it. If the demand drops off, I probably will stop. So it's all about demand, really.
I think
it's definitely something I want to grow.
Yeah, I think the demand can only grow for it at the moment.
I think I think it's a great idea. And I think certainly within the reseller community, you've got kind of an audience that are hungry for this stuff. And as long as you've got some margin and profit in there, I think it would only ever grow if you're willing to put the work into promoting it. And definitely. Fantastic. And as we've discussed today, there's demand for other avenues as well, whether that means getting more suppliers or what, who knows. But yeah, the world is your oyster. I suppose it depends how big you want to take it and how much work you want to put in. It's like with most things, you have to have
so right now it's kind of at my limit with storage space. When I buy these mailers, I'm buying in, tens of thousands at a time. So there's a lot of storage required to get the cost down as much as possible so I can pass the savings on to the community. Okay. My profit margins are between like £1 and £3. So I'm not making millions. I'm generally trying to provide a product that everyone really, really wants to be more sustainable, and basically make a little bit of money from it as well.
Yeah.
Okay.
Did you sell lots more of those sugarcane ones after I shared the link?
Yes, I think I saw quite a few. Yes.
Cool.
But most people were just asking for bigger sizes, which is why yesterday I got in the 2 new larger sizes. So if people want to see something stocked, let me know on a comment or an email or something, and if I get enough demand, I will buy it in for people, basically.
Yeah.
So that's kind of how I'm working at the moment. If there's a big enough demand and I can see that people want it, I will buy it in, because then it's worth my time buying tens of thousands or something.
Yeah, and worth the
Yeah.
investment. I mean, I was going to ask about that earlier, and I forgot. I'm glad you brought that up. But obviously, to supply this and to get it cheap enough, you have to order in big volumes. So this isn't something you're taking lightly. And I can only imagine the piles and piles of stuff you have somewhere secreted in the house.
Yeah, the boot of my car is full of the sugarcane mailers from yesterday.
Right. So if we can do what we can to support Josh, if you're thinking about restocking and you are environmentally conscious, this is a great way to do it.
Absolutely.
At the very least, go over and have a look around at the products and see what's available.
Yeah, well, I'm certainly going to order some more of the sugarcane ones, but the bigger size, next size up, because the other ones were fine, but I was finding I was squeezing some things in. So, yeah, the bigger size.
Yeah, quick note about the 30 by 40s. Yeah, I only have 3 lots available until the 19th. There was an issue with the supply, so grab the 3 now if someone wants them. If not, you have to wait until the 19th. But there is more on the way.
Cool.
Right. Just seeing if we've missed any questions. Got a request from Steve. Can you have a word with your mate Boris and knock this Brexit thing on the head? All right. Can you sort that out for us as well?
Boris isn't my mate. Theresa May was, but Boris isn't.
Okay. We have eco-friendly versus regular polymailers in price. Now, we did touch on this. I understand people are dropping in as we go into the live chat. So, yeah, what is the price? Give us an idea of price on the polymailers and how that might compare.
So it's approximately double. So if you just double the price of standard, so the 25 by 35s for 100, it's £7.50 of the standard polymailers. For the eco mailers, the same size, it's £14 for 100. So you're about doubling the cost. But at the end of the day, you charge the customer postage and packaging, so you're not technically footing that bill yourself. You can always pass that along if you need to.
Absolutely,
Right.
and the cost of the planet is more
important. Exactly.
It sounds shocking when you say it's double, but we're still only talking 7.5p.
Oh yeah. It's not major.
It's still a few pence, and like you say, if you need to pass that on to the buyer, then you can do. So I hope that answered your question. That was from Premier Vending.
So I have everything listed as 100 or 200 in quantity. Go for the 200 if you want the best value, because I've done the 200 to make the most of the postage cost, if that makes sense. So I'm able to give you a lot more product for less price. So 200 is the cheapest option out of all of them.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I think we've covered everything. How long have we been? Look how quick and concise.
Half hour.
Half an hour.
Half an hour.
Wow, we haven't waffled enough.
No.
Fantastic. So if you do have any more questions, pop them in quick. We have discussed the stuff. I do need to, when we go off air, we'll discuss how many of these we think we need to order. I definitely want both sizes though. These small ones are so handy. These are 6x6.
They're good for mugs as well. They're just about the right size to give you enough around the edge to sort of put padding and protection.
Yeah, I'd probably even use the bigger one for mugs. I'm so paranoid with that sort of stuff. But yeah, you could probably just about do a mug with that if you're confident in your...
Yeah, if you're confident that you're not going to get it break.
Yeah. And with the boxes, what are the options on your listings currently? Is it again?
So the 6x6x6 are sold in lots of 30 or 60. The 9x9x9s are sold in lots of 25 or 50.
Okay. And the more you order, the cheaper they get, I assume.
Yes.
Okay.
And if you want more than 60 or 50, message me and I can work something out for you. I can do the calculations of the cost.
Cool.
Premier Vending asks, can you do a pull test on the eco mailers just to see the strength? Wants to know.
Ooh.
They're the exact same strength as your standard one, but I can do if you would like me to.
Well, I have to say I've been using them, and I would say they were as strong as the ones I've been using.
He just wants to watch you
rip my profits.
Yeah. Stretch test. He can't do it. He cannot do it. I think
No, they're
that's
very
not
strong.
working,
That
though.
was pretty much my full force, and I still haven't ripped it.
Yeah.
Yeah, got to buy that now. Premiere.
I'll send them the bill.
But Josh is a weakling, you see. If I
You
tried
can
it, I
still-
wouldn't do any better.
And it's still fully usable, mind. You can still fully use this one. You just have to stretch it back out.
Yeah.
I'll use that for myself. I won't sell that to someone. Don't worry.
What else was I reading?
Um,
Might have gone now. Oh, Caroline's popped in. Caroline Johnson. Hello.
what's Caroline? Oh yeah, let's go with the Johnsons.
Yeah, and
Hello.
I don't know if you wanted to mention as well that Josh has a YouTube channel. Have you mentioned
Where were
that?
you?
Oh, I was.
Maybe you were. Yes. Yeah, I did drop a link below, so go
Okay,
over and check
yeah.
that out.
If you wanted more info on the eco mailers, just to quickly mention, if you click on one of the eco mailer listings on eBay and scroll down to the description, there's a lovely, great big paragraph about how they're grown, where they're grown, how it's grown on reclaimed wasteland. There's no impact on the rainforest. They use no fossil fuels. There's just a great big, nice paragraph there with the full description of how good they are and what actually they are doing for the environment. So that's worth a read if you're more interested on them.
Fantastic.
Lex says, everyone go and sub to Josh, buy stuff from his store, and give him many hugs when you meet him in the November meetup. Are you definitely coming up in November?
Yes, I'm getting a lift with Carla and Lex, and I'm sharing a room with Lex. That'd be good fun.
Looking forward to it.
Yeah, can't wait.
Details of that, we're going to confirm everything on Sunday, how we're going to organise, because we have to be a little bit careful on capacity because we're renting or hiring a venue.
Yeah. We need to over the weekend we're going to go and speak to them and just confirm the capacity, maximum capacity.
Yeah.
And then we can put out details.
But what we're going to have to do this time is confirm if people are coming, they need to contact us and confirm so we can get a list going, so we know we're not going to overfill the venue.
Yeah, I've started a list already. There are a few people on it.
I was just going to wing it, but Andrew's more sensible than that.
Well, you know, I'm sure it will be fine, but we just don't want to get to a point where
Yeah, I know a lot of people
overcrowding.
A lot of people have contacted us already. We will confirm with everyone.
Yeah,
that they're on the list.
And if you are thinking of coming, there's a Premier Inn, about 5-minute walk from the venue, and there is a hotel attached to it. So
yeah, the Sun Hotel is literally next to the pub.
and there are lots of other places to stay in Hitchin as
well. Okay, what's Eric saying there? There are only 100 watching. Won't save the planet that way. Well, every little helps. I think Nick will have to use his star power to push this further. Maybe an appearance on the Steve Green adventure. Well, yeah, that's what this needs.
Going to have to happen.
Yeah.
Yeah. But 100 people watching. Hopefully, those 100 people go off and tell 100 other people.
Yeah.
And that's how it happens.
That would be great if we could all support someone who's clearly trying to do something positive and build up a business at the same time. So please go and check out the links. Starter pack sounds like a great idea, as Josh said. If you missed that, there is a pack available where you get one of each of the different polymailer sizes, right?
Yeah.
So you can try those out and then see what works for whatever products you're selling, and then reorder those.
You can do your own rip test if you want on all of them.
Yeah.
Okay. Barry says he will be there. He's booked. That's cool.
Fantastic. We do need people to contact us.
I better write that. I better put that on my list.
Yeah, we do need people to contact us, and then once you get a reply and we've said that you're down, then you're down.
Yeah, I know. We haven't. I'm trying to be organised, but I haven't actually put out an official post yet, which will happen over the weekend. Right, Barry. Is it just you, Barry, or have you got someone else coming with you? Okay,
yeah, as Barry himself says, from small acorns.
Exactly.
You have to start somewhere. Okay. All right. Well, if you have any more questions, you can drop them below this video afterwards. The link to Josh's YouTube is there, so you can go through that and then contact Josh through one of those videos. Link below is for the store. And it just remains to say thanks, Josh. Hope that was okay.
That was fine. Thank you, Nick. Thank you, Andrea. Pleasure as always.
Good, Gus.
Yeah,
good.
No
we'll have to get you on in a few months and let us know how things are going.
Yeah,
and if you've got products, we can share those as well.
Yeah.
No problem. I'll keep you in the loop.
Fantastic. Thanks for joining us. If you managed to join us live, we'll be back on Sunday with an update on how this meetup in November is going to go and what you need to do to get your name on the list. And yeah, thanks for watching.
Yeah, thanks, Josh.
Thanks, Josh.
No problem. Bye.
Bye.
Oh, I can't find the button. Oh, it's hidden under here. Hold on,
It's
wait,
hidden
wait.
under notifications.
There we go.